but it was Lex Friedman had some guy on, and the guy was explaining how Instagram is essentially an infidelity accelerating machine.
Oh my God.
Welcome back to the Wilson Brothers channel. I am David. This is my brother Isaac and, of course, the Viking. Today we are reacting to a crazy Joe Rogan video on does social media affect the success rate of marriages?
Marriage.
Bring us a while together. Today. I have not seen this. I saw the title and I said, regardless of the content, we need to react to it because that title is captivating. Drama, my favorite. I'm very curious if social media has been affecting success rate of marriages.
It absolutely has.
Yeah, I was about to say, before the video starts, what do you think?
Oh, I absolutely has, dude. I know so many people that their wife is showing herself on social media.
Mm-hmm.
That cannot be healthy. To have other men see your wife, which should be just you, I don't know. I think it's horrible.
We should start our own dating app where you can't see the person's face. Oh, that already exists.
Love is Blind?
No, heck no. Men, if you're watching Love is Blind with your wife, slap yourself in the face and stop watching.
Well, the ones that are actually advertised as dating apps themselves isn't what's harmful.
Yeah.
What's harmful is the ones that don't advertise themselves as dating apps, like Instagram.
Oh,
yeah, Instagram is basically pornography.
I wonder what the percentage of like success rate in marriage is going to be in about 5 years.
That's a really good question because I was watching YouTube the other day and a clip popped up that I didn't watch, but it was Lex Friedman had some guy on, and the guy was explaining how Instagram is essentially an infidelity accelerating machine.
Oh my God.
We think of like how many, I mean, I know guys who are married and their wife's page is all their wife sticking their out and sticking their butt out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's literally the whole page.
Nope,
like these
not for
girls,
me.
and I'm not talking about girls who are like professional fitness influencers that are just showing how good their body is. I'm just talking about just regular gals.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a professional fitness person and maybe you train people or something like that, yeah, of course you should show your body. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
You're literally advertising by, look, I did this to me, I can help you do this to you. But some of them are just and like, do you like my feet? Like it's like, and like they're married, right? So they're getting bombed on in the DMs like constantly. And if something goes wrong in the marriage, they have like probably so many options. Like pro athletes are DMing them, and who knows?
I'm so glad my wife does not do that. Thank you, baby. I love you.
There's so much anxiety for me just thinking about that. Like, I'm the only single one on the panel here. Just the idea of having a girlfriend where I go on my Instagram one day when I'm not with her and I'm scrolling down and I see her body on there. Like, that would give me so much anxiety as a man, saying, no, that's actually the reason I'm dating you is because I want you to myself.
Yeah, if you're going out on a date with a girl and you don't know her that well, there's 2 questions you should absolutely ask. Well, really one question, and you need to observe their Instagram behind the scenes, but you also need to find out if they enjoy going out to bars on the weekends.
Well, it also depends what the purpose is. If they have a couple of friends,
then they're bad friends. No, just
every weekend, yes. If they go to a bar, that's different. But if it's all about the party life, that's different. That's a red flag.
It depends on also what bar. It depends on who you're going with. If you're going like to like one near us, Havana Deluxe, like a cigar lounge.
Hey, I want another cigar.
Or Latin dancing. Dancing.
You're dancing, but the problem is, even in those situations and circumstances, you are putting yourself out there for men to view you as
yeah, because ultimately, like even the cigar lounges, like it is a social gathering where it's like intended for people to talk to each other. Well,
also, I mean, I know a lot of girls that go out because they love to do salsa dancing, and so that is more about the dancing and it's quality dancing. I think we're referring more to about like clubs and that kind of culture.
Hookup culture.
Yeah, hookup culture. Because I know a lot of really good women that just love going salsa dancing. So we're not getting on them. But clubs and hookup culture is a completely different thing.
I mean, your persona that you put online the image that you want people to see of you reflects who you are.
This is why we have problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Well, yeah, even us, I mean, we're on this journey of getting fit. On our Instagram soon, we'll have maybe some topless photos of like us getting in shape, but the goal is to show
but we're
people,
not women.
No, but I'm saying the goal is to show our transformation.
But we're not also in Speedos.
Well, that's what I mean.
But but even then, even if we were in Speedos, guys, women are not attracted to the same things that men are.
Well, you know, you're kind of on the tasty side.
There are some women that are.
Listen, if we post pictures of ourselves in Speedos, you know who's going to blow up our DMs? A bunch of men asking us how they can also look like that. It's not the same.
That's a good point. I mean,
there's some creepy
I think
women.
It's what you post online is a reflection of who you are.
Oh, 100%.
I think that's what it boils down to. If you're a woman and you're posting that you're just showing your boobs, you're showing your butt, you're doing the angles as you know that they teach about certain poses that get men to look at you more, then you're obviously wanting attention. I think as well, if you're dating somebody and you go on their Instagram, you should just tell your boys like, hey, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Like, give me your honest feedback of what you think. Do you think?
And this is, of course, if you have good guy friends.
Good guy friends, not hookup culture friends that don't actually care about you wanting to find a wife.
Well, getting back to Joe Rogan, he's talking about specifically in marriage. So let's stay on topic with that. We're not talking about when you're single, people do crazy stuff. And yes,
that's true.
But for what Joe is saying, in marriage,
if you're married and she's doing this, you've lost. It's over.
Guys, too, 100%. How easily those relationships are just available.
When I was talking about that last night with the dating apps, like when someone in one of those bottom of the barrel shows, one of the questions was Hinge, which was a dating app. And I was like, how much are you going to be invested in trying to figure somebody out if you've got like 100 people that you swiped on that are also ready to go? And then you could just like leave this date sucks. Like text this person like, hey, something just came up. I just got out of a meeting. Do you want to go have a late drink? And then you go meet that person. Like, all right, we're trying again. And then if you're really that person, that's like, it's got to be addictive like everything else on social media is addictive. Yeah. So, and addicted to just meeting people and just swiping and they all look hot. Like, go.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, marriage is such a tough, crazy thing. Do you know a lot of people that have successful marriages?
I know people that have successful marriages. I wouldn't say I know a lot. I think, look, what is the divorce rate? We like know
40-something%?
I think
it's over 50.
I think the national divorce rate is close to 50%. And Chris Rock always had a great bit about that. He goes, and that's just the people that had the courage to get out. How many cowards stay and suffer?
Especially when they have kids and they're just staying together, being miserable with kids. Yeah. And they don't even know those kids are sitting there looking at how they interact with each other. It's just affecting them.
They just feel the interactions.
You know, that's like a scary thing about people who grow up in like abusive households. Like if the mother and father are abusive to each other and verbally abusive to each other, then they'll probably pattern that as they get older. And they just think you're supposed to like fight and then make up, fight and then make up. And then people get caught up in that cycle of fighting and make up because it feels good to make up. You know, and the makeup sex is amazing. But the fighting part is just like people get brutal. They insult each other and break each other down.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, we're so lucky because I've been with my girl almost 13 years now, and you've been with Danny for almost 10.
Yeah.
But I bet being like the star you are now, trying to find a chick that, I mean, the guys that are stars, trying to find actual love.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
it's possible. I think it's probably easier if you're a guy to find a good girl than you're for a girl to find a good guy.
What do you think about that?
I would say that goes both ways. It's not easier one way or the other because, like, the hookup culture has screwed everything so badly that, like, for a woman to find a disciplined man is, like, few and far between. And for a man to find a good, pure girl is few and far between.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason the whole idea of the passport bros even exist. Men completely going to different countries where virginity is still, you know,
Virtue.
exalted. Yeah.
The idea of virtue has been poisoned by hookup culture.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about the ideologies or the belief systems behind virtue in and of itself is the result of discipline, but it's also the result of saying no and having that ability. And a lot of men, unfortunately, because they're not disciplined in certain areas of their life, it's a lot harder for them to say no. in certain situations because they feel that need of I'm lonely. I don't have that social circle. I don't have other men keeping me accountable.
Yeah.
And so the natural outlet is I need to be sexually satisfied. So I'm going to go on a dating app with the intention of not actually wanting to have something long term and ending up in that habitual cycle of swipe, 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 even on girls they're not even attracted to. Just swipe, 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 hoping that they get some type of validation.
I am starting a committee to determine the validity of the two committees, and I am the sole member. The committee will act on this now.
Okay, this is stupid.
Could you please keep it down? I'm in session.
That they're looking for.
And
I did that. I can attest to that. That's part of my story. I searched for validation for years on dating apps by just swiping endlessly, hoping to just fill a void in my heart that wasn't the right thing because I wasn't having discipline. I wasn't becoming a good man. And so that was the natural outlet to that.
I'm trying to think of in history how people found their spouse at times because we grew up in this big social media boom, but back in the day you couldn't really find somebody online. If you went to a bar, because we're saying don't try to go to a bar to find somebody. I know people have done that, but it's very rare. There's a lot of people that aren't religious, so they don't go to church. A lot of people have a job, but it's kind of hard to find a significant other in a job. So how would people find people?
Every time a couple gets married, 2 single people die.
Well, even today, I can't remember the exact statistic on it, but a lot of relationships start through mutual friendships.
It used to be arranged marriages back in the day too. If you were in a small community like a farm community, right?
Yeah.
You would have different families that had kids that raised the kids. The kids would get to know each other and boom, you would get married. It wasn't because they didn't have the options that we have today. So there's positives and negatives to that.
Well, I think David's talking more of like in the 60s, 70s.
Oh, you're not talking.
I'm talking about everyday people, not people in a tribe or something.
Yeah.
I'm talking about before social media, because even back then the bar scene wasn't quite what it is today. How did people do that? And I think something very interesting to take into consideration, this just hit me. You were afraid if there was a good girl that came across your path, whether it was a mutual friendship, like you said, if you missed out on her, you might not find somebody else. In today's culture, like they're saying, you just swipe, okay, this girl doesn't satisfy me in whatever ways. Okay, there's another one. Back in the day, if you didn't take advantage of finding that person of value that you come across, you might never find them. And so it made you value relationships and value friendships, I think, more because you might be doomed.
Yeah.
I would think so. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, to be sexist and to talk in sexist terms, women think of a man as a provider, right? So you want a guy who can keep it together. Right, you want a guy who you're going to have children. You're going to want a guy who's going to be able to keep it together financially, be stable, be disciplined, do all the things he's going to do, not fall apart, not become a drug addict, not do something really stupid and lose his job, and not like just give up because of that, and then everybody gets on welfare. Like you have to like count on someone unless you want to work yourself. So there's this like evolutionary aspect, and I think it's hard. Like, if you're a guy, what do you want out of a woman? I want her to be nice, fat, fat, all the physical things. But you want her to be a good person, a nice person. I don't need him to be successful.
Yeah.
Like, no guy cares. Like, I do not care at all. Like, I would not care at all. Like, if I was a single guy and I met a gal and she was like a bartender, I wouldn't like, oh, just a bartender?
Yeah.
Well,
good point.
You don't have any businesses? Like, no one cares. No one cares. Like, are you nice? Are you nice? Are you cool? Are you fun to be with? Do I enjoy spending time with you? Then who cares? So, but a woman like Taylor Swift is not going to marry a bartender, right?
Exactly. So true.
Out of here! I sell out stadiums. Yeah. What do? You make drinks for people?
Well, that's why she's talking with that Travis Kelce guy. Though, got to do something big time.
You're gonna share that.
That's a good point. Never thought about that.
Yeah. Who knows? It's a I think it's a tougher road for a woman to find a good man. That's what I think.
All right. I think he has a good point there.
I love how he had to clarify this is considered sexist.
Come on, Leslie, you know I'm not sexist. I love powerful women.
You do attend a shocking number of WNBA games.
In our day and age.
Yeah, that's
that's crazy
that's
to
just
me
human
because
biology.
That's what people are telling him, though.
In even on all these dating shows, Fresh and Fit, whatever podcast, they ask the women, what do you want in a man? It's never, I want him to be the most attractive. It's usually, I want him to make a good amount of money and to take care of me. And we've never said women can't work or they can't do this and that, but we look for different things than they do.
Men and women are different.
Now, my wife, we've been with each other so long, I was broke essentially when we got married, but we grew up together. But if in today's age, if you're 25, 30 and you're going out there dating, women want to know that they'll be taken care of emotionally, and financially. Men are you somebody that I can imagine being with my entire life? Are you a pleasant person? Do you fit the morals that I have? And they're imagining how that woman will be the mother of their kids more than their success.
Especially as their time clock starts to tick as they get older, the pressure on them to procreate gets higher, which means what comes along with procreation? Money. You have to have money, right? So they're thinking in their brains is, I have to know that he can take care of not just me, but the kids that we have.
Yeah, because she might be working at that moment, but she realizes if I'm going to have 2 or 3 kids, are my kids going to be taken care of? And that's incredibly important. But I hate that in today's world, now you have to clarify that this is sexist.
Well, what's really worse is if you want to be the type of man who is capable of fully providing, it's looked at as, oh, well, he's capable of fully providing for you and wants you to quit your job now just because he wants to control you. And it's like, no, that's not it. Like, there is a great sense of empowerment and pride that a man takes in being able to fully provide. Like, it makes us feel amazing to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's just the narrative's been flipped on it so much that men don't even want to strive to be that anymore. And
I don't want my kids to be raised by other people than my wife.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also the fact that, like, if we're capable of fully providing and you're capable of staying home and not having to do anything, like, you end up making home like a paradise. We walk through the door and things smell like vanilla and cinnamon, and like, you got nice music playing. It's like walking into a spa. It's just peaceful and serene, and it's nice to be able to come home to that when we've been out in the rough world all day. Yeah.
Also, my wife works from home. So if you're able to have a remote job so you can be with your children, I just think I will always believe that being with your children is very important. But my wife's a photographer, so she's able to work from home, and our work-life balance has been great because of that. It's just really tough when you have to, both the women and the men have to be providing just as much. And I feel for you that have that, because a lot of people, the man doesn't make enough money, so the woman has to help with that. And that's tough, but that's why we're trying to push men, dream bigger. If you're in a job that you hate, dream bigger. Go after things that are bigger, because you can make more money than you just think. If you're just working at a Starbucks, God bless you, but there are better things out there for you. And that's what we're pushing men to be. We're not talking down to men that are in those jobs. We're challenging you to be better. We want you to be better, and we're challenging ourselves to be better. So
you have to have that mentality, I think it's what it comes down to. When you're a man in today's society, it's all about priorities, men.
Yeah.
What are your priorities? If you're on a dating app and you're constantly swiping and you're creating and you're reinforcing the toxicity of shallow interactions, you will perpetuate that into your own life, and it will affect your finances. It will affect your emotions, your spiritual health. So it's all encompassing. We're not claiming to be red pill. We're not claiming to be blue pill. We want to be holistic in every area of our lives as men, because that's what makes us strong men. And that's not being preached on social media today. There's so much a chasm of a pendulum on both sides between the red pill and blue pill. And we're saying, no, there's a better way. You, as a man, can say no to promiscuous women. You can say no to the world telling you how to live your life in a way that has beaten you down, because the world is tough. Men, it's hard to go out there and make money. We understand that, but it's not impossible. Mindset's everything. Change the way you think, and your outcome will be different, I promise you.
Yeah, instead of being the sheep and following, you need to become the lion. You need to develop a lion mindset.
Roar.
All right, guys, we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next video. We have other reaction videos here, but we're going to keep drilling this thing about men becoming strong. So we appreciate you guys, and don't forget to subscribe, but we'll see you on the next video.
Peace.
Peace.